Hello, drivers. Hey, um, I'm going to do this in case you ain't here for the live. This is important. This is just so I don't have to upload it to YT. It'll do it for me. But this is important information. I had just gotten a phone call about an hour ago from my fleet manager, and we all have decisions to make. This is mostly addressing the drivers that already have the title to their vehicle, like I do, mostly. It really won't pertain to somebody who's still making payments, but you know the pain it is to make those payments every week. But I'm addressing a few of the drivers that are owner operators that have owned their truck since 2014. I think there's one that has one that he's had since 2013, a truck, and has had his title. I don't know whose ingenious executive idea this was, but a year and a half from now, December 31st, 2024, you can't have a truck older than a 2018 at prime. Now, that's a year and a half from now. Things may change. We don't know. You can't predict the future. Me, I'm expecting an economic downturn, and this next one is going to be a doozy. Believe me, a lot of people are going to feel the next time economic downturn. And we're due for another one. Every 4 to 7 years, we have an economic downturn, just like clockwork. You look at our economic history of almost 300 years, every 4 to 7 years, economic downturn. And I do know that the market is overly priced. I do know that the rates really haven't changed much in the past 10 years. The rates haven't changed all that much. Fuel prices have changed. That we do know. And the truck payments have changed depending on your deal. I know people making lease payments that are making, you know, anywhere between 1,100 to 13 to 1,400 a week on a lease payment. And with the rates the way they are, I'm like, how is this person going to make any money? Let alone try to have any home time for family at all. I mean, you got to leave at least a little bit of leeway here. But what I'm saying to you guys is do not be sucked in by this executive move because, yes, it's an aging fleet, and the majority of us do take good care of our equipment. I stay on top of mine and make sure mine is in the same shape as it was as I got it, except for maybe the interior on the inside. That shit breaks down anyway because it's cheaply made and it's cognate obsolescence suck. Because I even told Peterbilt about it. I said, you know, your cognate obsolescence, the interior of the truck kind of sucks on certain things. I mean, within a month, the handle on this drawer snapped. I mean, that's awful. And I'm not abusive to the equipment at all. Hell no, nobody is. But I really would like some owner operators from Prime, you know, hey, take the time, comment. You know, I'm not here to make money off of YT, but I am here to chat and to pass along information. I got a decision to make. I've already talked to Pedigree, and I let them know, look, I know you're in it to make money, but you're going to have to leave me some breathing room because this economy sucks. I said, I know you need to profit, but you know, you don't need to profit too much off of me. You're not going to double your money. Okay. That's just not going to happen. And I'm not going to sell my truck at half of what I could get normally. I don't expect full price for it. No, you got to leave room for profit. But how much? Half of what it's worth? No way. That ain't going to happen. You give me, you know, 60, 70%, you might have a deal on that. But only half of it? No. Because I'm not padding the pockets of some boards of directors who do absolutely nothing that make these kind of decisions and think it's a wonderful idea. This could go south for Prime. You know, a lot of us can just say, okay, we'll take our trucks and go elsewhere. because there are a lot of companies out there that are looking for high quality drivers to haul their freight, safe quality drivers to haul their freight. I've gotten phone calls from other companies, and I'll mention one. The World Wrestling Entertainment had called me. I don't know how they got my information, but word of mouth goes around. It was two of my students that gave them my information, but that's how they got my information. They called me. I didn't necessarily turn them down, but I was like, at this time when they called me, I hadn't quite paid off my truck yet. I said, once my truck's paid off, then we might talk. I mean, let's talk business. But I'm no sucker either, and I don't expect you guys, my colleagues, to be suckers either. And to help you with that, talk to me. Be more than happy to talk to you. Drum out things. I may learn something from you. I don't know but I know you can learn something from me. I know Prime is a good company. It's been good to me, but just like having a girlfriend, it's over, but you hate to lose that stereo. Well, sometimes that happens, and sometimes the bitch gives you an ultimatum, and sometimes you got to walk away. It's like, I ain't doing it. One of the safest bets would be to strip off Prime's name and its DOT number and go elsewhere and get your own plates. I mean, you're going to have to insure your own truck wherever you go. But I recommend signing on to a fleet that'll take you. And I'm sure if you're experienced and got a good DOT record, they'll take you. Because this was a marketing decision. It has nothing to do with the health of the trucks. It's an excuse, older model trucks. Oh man, I've seen antique trucks out here hauling freight. That has nothing to do with it. This is about making more money for Pedigree and Prime, for leasing out these trucks and getting us under a truck payment again. I'm not too keen on wanting to go back under a truck payment. Nope. I paid my dues. I've been here 12 years with Prime. I leased 2 and purchased my 3rd, brand spanking new. And I got my title a year and a half ago. And now we got a year and a half to make a decision, unless they decide to change their mind, because you really don't want to lose a lot of drivers, a lot of your veteran drivers, because that's what could happen. They could end up purging a lot of their veteran drivers for profit. But the sad thing is, look, you can't let greed get in your way. And if this breaks the bank for Prime, then they're going out of business anyway. If they're going to rely on, people making lease payments or truck payments on new trucks, if they're going to rely on that to stay afloat, this company's going to die anyway. No, that should not entirely be where all the profit lies in this industry for them. The profit should lie in moving the freight, because they got 3 brokerage houses that a load goes through before a lease driver gets it. Being an owner, the last time I was told, it only goes through 1 brokerage house. But all they do is have people typing stuff down on a computer and move it to the other brokerage houses. And each load they do like that, they strip off $100, $200 off of what that load pays. So if it goes through 3 brokerage houses and you charge $200 per load, $600 of that is already off the top when it comes to the actual driver. These people are making tons of money just on that alone. And that's not including their company drivers that haul freight for them. Prime is a profiting model, yes, but they should not have to rely on guys making truck payments and leasing trucks. No, someone like me had earned his spot, worked my ass off, did go in the hole a few times for a student, no doubt. 2 months I went in the hole for a student to get him his CDL. I didn't abandon my student or students. And the amount of students I have, I know them all by name. I had 18 students over a 10-year period that I trained at Prime. I trained quality, not quantity. There's some guys that get proud that I train 50 to 100 students a year. Okay, that's great. You train that many students, but how many of those had an accident? How many of them are actually still alive? That's the question. You passed on quantity, but were they quality? Because knock on wood, every one of my students were successful and moved on to be successful. And this is really important, and this is something to think about. And do not make rash decisions right away. And don't have people force you to make a decision right away. Sure, if there's an economic downturn and it crashes, because these trucks, along with regular automobiles, are overly blown up in price. They're overly blown up. They're charging a truck that I got right now, brand new, they're charging just under 200 grand for now. And 4 years ago, I paid 150 for this. And the thing is, just don't act rational and don't make a quick decision. Even if it sounds good, I wouldn't do it. But you got plenty of time. Make your decision. And those who are finishing up their payments, or whatever they owe on the truck, I know there's probably a few that are going to be getting their title real soon. You got to think, okay, 2018 and older. And then that following year in 2025, it's going to be the 2019s. And they're going to keep pushing it to make sure everybody gets recycled through. No, I've enjoyed not having a truck payment. I've been very profitable out here, and that's the way I want to keep it. Just because some executives feel like, we got aging equipment. Man, there are guys out here driving antique trucks. They run very well, and they get the job done. Why should it matter? No, it has nothing to do with that. It all happens to do with profit on getting truck payments, boosting the truck payments up, getting people to buy or getting them to lease. I will not lease another truck again. Not going to happen. And if I do sell my truck and have to make payments on another truck, those payments are not going to be $1,000 or more a week. No, they're going to be the same as they were on this one. Mine were just under $900. I paid $870 and change for 4 years and had my truck paid off. So do the math, really rethink it and think it over and think it over and think it over. Think of all avenues, regardless of how ridiculous people may say or you may think it is. But it may not be ridiculous because that little idea might be gold or might be pretty damaging. You got to look at all avenues. Because especially in this economy, everything's going to get tight. And the prices are not coming down. And you don't want to get tied up purchasing another truck and then losing your ass. And whatever you earned for yourself in those years and that truck that you paid for doesn't go to waste. Because you got the title of your truck like I do. You have a vested interest. And it's not nothing small. You paid for a vehicle that that costs over $100,000, and you want to continue to get and the upkeep and everything, the cost of the upkeep, but you want to continue to keep getting money through your investment. Not only it's your investment, it's your work. But I hope they really thought about this decision and then, see what happens, because some drivers, they may walk. They've gotten spoiled like me. We paid our truck off, we take care of our equipment, and we're still profitable. And we want to keep it that way. I don't want to go anywhere. I like Prime. I've been really successful here. But I'm not going to be forced into something I do not want to do. And if I could be profitable at another company and get the same arrangements like I do have here at Prime, I'm going to go for it. And then Prime loses out on a good driver because they can't get people to move the freight. They definitely ain't going to make no money, because that's very important. Because I do know that they do profit a lot by moving freight, regardless of who it is, whether it be an owner or a company driver. Yeah, sure, they're going to profit more from a company driver. But I'm not bad-mouthing Prime, not at all, if they see this video. I'm questioning whose decision and whose wise idea was this to do this. But the good thing is, at least they gave us a year and a half to decide on what we're going to do. Because in that year and a half, a lot can happen to the economy by then. And I'm telling you now, it's not going to be good. The news and our government may tell you everything's just fine. Nothing's going to go. Yeah, they said the same thing back in October 18th of 1929. And that day they had a lot of people jumping out of windows. Don't believe what they tell you about the economy, because I'll tell you, it's shit. And it's not going to get any better unless some decisions are made. And yes, they're going to be drastic decisions, and decisions that you may think that are uncomfortable. And I don't like the idea that people say, well, everybody wants to work for not do any work and get a handout. Oh, okay. That's what wrecked our economy? Giving out handouts? Yeah, I agree with you. But which handouts were they? To the American people during the pandemic? Or was it the $800 billion bailout to AIG and the auto industry and everything else? Yeah, look at those handouts. Billions and billions of dollars. But you never talk about that. I think that's what's more damning to the economy than helping the American people, the American working class who lost their job unwillingly. But you see, you won't hear that language in the media. You're going to hear, well, a bunch of people just lost their job. Well, their lazy asses is going to have to go and find another job. And because you're in a sweet-smelling position temporarily, well, you go work at McDonald's. Yeah, you're not going to want to work for poverty wages either. Don't expect somebody else to either. Because that's what it is. Go to the National Labor Statistics. This is in D.C., and it's nonpartisan. And what they tell you about if the minimum wage had kept up with our economy, how much should it be paying right now? Right now, it should be paying $27.38 an hour. What is it today? $7.25. The last time they raised the minimum wage was in 2009. So when they raised the minimum wage, and you look at inflation, And I'm losing signal, folks. I'm going to have to end this live stream because I was doing my 30-minute break and I had to get the. I'm gone, guys. Thank you for coming. You have a good day.